Hello everyone and welcome to SA Bricks, and today we have official images of the LEGO Marvel January 2026 wave, so let's get into it. We have 6 extremely exciting sets to get into today, so let's start with the smallest one and work our way up. Our first set today is set number 76335, Spider-Man vs. Ghost Rider Motorcycle. This set releases for $9.99 US and €9.99 euros. It's really good to have a minifigure scale motorcycle for Ghost Rider. We did have a mech a few years ago. We've not actually had a real, true minifigure scale one for a very, very long time. I think the build looks really good. We do actually have a printed part on the front of the motorcycle, as well as a new exclusive Ghost Rider minifigure, the same old Spider-Man figure, nothing to talk about there, but the Ghost Rider minifigure does actually look really, really cool. Then we have set number 76336, Spider-Man car versus Venomized Wolverine. This set releases for $19.99 US, €19.99 euros, and $17.99 in the UK. For some reason, LEGO are obsessed with giving Spider-Man and his friends cars. This is probably our third Spider-Man car in the past 2 or 3 years. I'm not really sure why. And again, the non-exclusive Spider-Man. However, a humongous highlight to this set is the Venomized Wolverine minifigure. He has a non-dual molded helmet, which is interesting, and also a new face print. However, he does have unprinted legs, but his torso does look quite nice, and again, unprinted arms. Then we have set number 76334, Epic Battle Spider-Man vs. Sandman. This set costs $24.99 in the US and €24.99 euros. This set is part of a new collection called the Epic Moment Collection, and we have seen sets very similar to this in the past, such as the No Way Home battle with this black diorama. However, now LEGO are branding it as its own collection and also including an exclusive 1x8 tile in each set. The 1x8 tile says the movie the diorama is from, as well as who is part of the battle, and right here we have Spider-Man, Venom, and Sandman. The actual model itself is really exciting. It's really exciting to see the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies back in LEGO. This is actually our third set over the past few years to include Tobey Maguire. We obviously had the No Way Home set, then last year we got the train with Doc Ock, and now we have this. I believe this is the smallest of the three, so it's really good we're getting smaller sets, and now I hope we get Andrew Garfield sets. But in terms of this set, it actually looks really amazing actually. You can remove Sandman from the build. The build is obviously the construction site from the end of the third movie. You can see we have some of Venom's webs around, as well as some scaffolding, which is actually really nice. We have 3 minifigures. I believe the Spider-Man minifigure is the same one from the previous set. A Sandman minifigure who does actually look really accurate. I love his printed legs and all the detail across the minifigure. And finally, Venom. The Venom does really capture his look from the third Spider-Man movie with the humongous teeth at the front. And I do love his torso print. Then we have our second set from the Epic Moment Collection, and this is set number 76343, Epic Battle Hulkbuster versus the Hulk. This set releases for $49.99 in the US, €49.99 euros. The set has another exclusive 1x8 tile. I believe these actually are prints, which is another really good feature to the sets, saying Avengers Age of Ultron Hulkbuster versus the Hulk. This is a very memorable scene from that movie. We can see here we've got the Hulkbuster. This actually does look like a really good build, very accurate. And then we have an exclusive Hulk piece, which is kind of more red, rings around his eyes. Except from that, there isn't really much to see here. We do have a few bits of rubble and other things that are broken apart on the street, but nothing amazing. However, what is amazing is the two figures in the set. As I mentioned, we have a new Lego Hulk with these red rings around his eyes, which is very accurate to the scene in Avengers Age of Ultron. However, the absolute star of the set here is Iron Man. He has arm printing. We haven't seen Iron Man with arm printing for a very, very long time, and I believe this suit is also new. He also has a new face print. These images here are from many superheroes today. You can see one side has the glasses, the very classic glasses, and the other side has a simple smiling face. It's really good to see that Lego are giving Tony Stark new faces, because that head we probably have 1,000 of and has appeared in so many sets over the past 10 years. Then we have set number 76342, Spider-Man vs. Mysterio, the Daily Bugle. This set releases for $99.99 and €109.99. This set is part of the new children's modular series for Marvel, and it has the Daily Bugle, no other buildings in this set except from a small newsstand to the side. We have a lot of exciting minifigures in the set as well. However, one of the big highlights is the Lego Rhino mech. We have a Rhino mech. I'd say it looks quite nice. However, if you want to see a really cool Rhino mech, check this link above to watch one that we made, which looks amazing. This set looks quite like the Lego Daily Bugle from a few years ago from the modular line. However, it's more old-fashioned. That one was great and more like a modern skyscraper. So I guess it is a bit different. However, if you do have a Daily Bugle set, probably don't buy this one. The interior does look a bit basic on some floors. However, the first floor looks like a lobby. We have a seat as well as a screen of some sort. Then we have a printing room. I'm not quite sure how the whole of New York's Daily Bugle papers come from that one printer. But anyway, on to the next floor, we have an office with a TV inside showing the Rhino breaking out. And then the final floor is J. Jonah Jameson's office. We have a computer screen and with a desk with some coffee. We do have quite a few interesting printed or stickered detail elements. At the very top we have a big sign showing the Daily Bugle news. Now this does look like a sticker to me, which is going to be a real pain to do because it's absolutely humongous. However, I do love the detail that it adds to the set. Then we have a computer screen. Now in the original set from a few years ago, there was actually a screen in a very similar place to this. But anyway, we also have at the bottom here the newsstand with a few Daily Bugle prints. Now this is really interesting. If they are prints, these can be added alongside the ones from the original set to create even more variety in Daily Bugle newspapers. We also have a mailbox. I love how on the side here we have a Lego bird piece instead of a normal bird. Looking at this picture here, we can see that the Daily Bugle newspapers are not prints, which is a real shame because in the original set we had, I think, probably over 10 printed pieces, really detailed and quite similar to this, showing Daily Bugle newspapers. A real shame, but at least they are in the set. There are 7 minifigures in this set and a few exclusive ones. First up here we have Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and also Spider-Gwen. These 3 are non-exclusive and appeared in many sets over the years. Then we have J. Jonah Jameson. He uses already existing pieces However, I do think the torso works well. I think it actually was used for him in the Tobey Maguire set from a few years ago, and the face print was used in the original Daily Bugle. Then we have probably the highlight minifigure of the set, Venomized Captain America. Now it doesn't really make sense to have Venomized Captain America. However, it is a really cool minifigure. You can see he has leg printing on both legs, as well as the torso with the Venom logo over the Captain America star. The face print is completely new. I believe we can see some of Venom's teeth under there, and also a new printed Captain America mask. Then we have another really amazing minifigure here, and this is Mysterio. He features leg printing, torso printing, and also a new head, I believe, under the mask. Kind of like a skull. And then also we have the mask, which has been used before. And finally, we have Rhino. He does look quite similar to the figure from that 4+ set with the helmet. However, it is just really cool to see him in a real Lego Spider-Man set. Our final set of the day is set number 76344, Iron Man Mark III Collector's Edition. This is the only UCS set from this wave, and I must admit there are some better options for this space. I would love to have seen a minifigure scale model, or it could have been an icon such as Iron Man. Instead, minifigure scale like a prop from one of the movies, or a buildable character that we haven't seen before. The build is very impressive and does look a lot like Iron Man. I do love the leg builds. Their shaping is absolutely spot on. The torso, maybe it's just me, it does look a bit long. The arms are quite good, and the helmet overall looks really good. Now, one problem with this set is it does include the exact same Iron Man minifigure that we just saw in the Hulkbuster set, which is a real shame, but at least we do have a second set here that has the really cool face print for Iron Man. So guys, there is all 6 sets from the January 2026 Marvel wave. Overall, this has the possibility to be one of my absolute favourite waves from the theme in a very, very long time. Fans have been really wanting detailed minifigures and leg printing and arm printing. I think that's finally starting to come through in many figures in the wave. We have many characters who haven't been made in a very long time, and some really cool ones, such as the Venomized minifigures and also the Venom from the Tobey Maguire set. So overall, I'm really happy with this wave. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. What's your favourite set? What's your least favourite set? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.